Morning, Will. Morning. Oh, everyone's on time this morning. Man, I tell you what, it is chilly over here this morning. Ooh. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing good. Looks like GJ here, a bit of resistance this morning. Man, the ranges are really small on GJ today. Like, you see this range here? This range was like 16, 15 pips. Yeah, it looks like it's back in the range, but we're going to look at it from like a daily perspective, and we're going to break it down like that. But looking at the daily now, it could have just come up to create some form of top wick, and then the rest of the day we're going to start heading down to fill this wick at 137 or 190, but we'll have to see. Let's check out the 4 hour. Yeah, see, the thing is price has made a low, and we could this could be coming up to generate some liquidity for some further downside, or this could be a complete correction of this just breakout to the downside, and then we actually break the other way. But I'm not sure yet. How long we got? We've got like an hour left for the 4 hour candle to close, so it's pretty important where it closes. I mean, essentially, if we think about it, once price gets back above 800, 4 hour can be closing bullish. But anyway, I suppose let's do some fresh analysis here. It's not gonna hurt. So yeah, okay. Let's start with the daily time frame. It's gonna give us some good information. So what we saw with the daily time frame was the fact that we created a support, obviously, over here, but we also had this area to the left that we obviously broke out of. If we neat this up a bit, this resistance over here from October, we also had a support at this area from the 8th of September. So these candles, they were kind of just closing above this zone, wicking into this area. But then this candle, that was Wednesday's candle, came down and it closed at this area. Now Thursday's candle was like an impulse entry, came down, wicked into this area, retraced, but it closed below. It closed below this zone, 137,660. So personally, I think this daily candle, like I just was explaining, could be just creating some form of top wick to then flip bearish and then continue moving down. That's something that can happen, especially if there's any Brexit news or anything today. It could be setting up for like a liquidity grab for some downside, especially if talks are not going well. I was reading something last night just about the EU are being really stubborn with the deal. So it could fall apart, maybe. Obviously, I don't know. I'm no politician or anything like that, so we can't know for sure. But I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, if you think about it, it's taken them how many years to even get to just communicate. So it says something with a few days left to seal the deal, that nothing's been signed. So let's just focus on the fact that the daily time frame has a bearish bias based on the previous daily close. So let's keep that in mind. Now let's look at the 4 hour time frame. And what we're going to do with the 4 hour time frame is essentially we have to look at the fact that, okay, well, price created some resistance down over here. So the only thing I would say at the moment is you see how we created a resistance at 137 600. I think this resistance, I would have liked it to have been respected for price to continue down. So it does look like, we've come back up into this range. Current 4 hour, coming down a little bit. But essentially, unless we get a candle close back below, 137 600, technically speaking, the daily candle will stay bullish. So what I'm thinking is that, if this move's going to get corrected, okay, if the daily candle is going to continue bullish and this move's going to get corrected, we're going to fill the other side of this range, right? We're going to come up to 138 300. If that's the case, then we need to start creating strong supports above 137 600, right? That's what we need to do. Oh, one sec. No, I couldn't hear you there, Will. Sorry. That's all right, mate. we'll have a chat in a sec. So yeah, I mean, the 4 hour candle, it may need to create some support on the 1 hour time frame. The next 4 hour candle may need to close bullish above this resistance here, right, for price to continue up. Let's look at the 1 hour, because 1 hour is obviously going to give us more information. So I just want to clear everything for a second there. So we can clearly see that since yesterday, London closed, we've now had the start of this little bullish uptrend. So we created a support this morning. That was Asian session, sorry. We created a support at Asian session at 137 630 650 area, right? So this candle, it had no wick to the bottom. Price then pushed up further, tapping into this resistance. Oh, pressed the wrong one there. Oh, what's that? Pitchfork. Sorry. Yeah, we tapped into this resistance over here at 137 900, and we rejected it this morning. Pre-London, we rejected it. Yeah, pretty much through pre-London. We tapped into this area multiple times and then rejected. So I think once the 1 hour time frame basically breaks 137 630, we can continue down. We do have another support over here to the left-hand side. So let's just measure this range. This range is, only like 14 pips. So it's not a great range. If we break this support, we also have like another support down over here. But I'm going to go with this area right over here because, price kind of tapped into this liquidity zone before driving up. So let's say this is 137 300. Right, so let's measure this range. And this is a 20 pip range. So that's probably more likely where I'd want to take a sell. But I mean, yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Because, we don't know for sure yet that it's going to continue down. Because right now, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, it's respecting this bullish market structure based on the 1 hour time frame. So let's go to the 30-minute. So looking on the 30-minute time frame. So yeah, price made a high and it reached the resistance at 137 900, this previous area that we rejected beforehand. So we can see how we rejected that area. We can also see, price has come down to retest this support at 137 630, and we're now rejecting this area too, right? We're now rejecting this area too. We also just broke out of this support, so we may need to retrace, form some resistance below 137 800, to continue down. But at the same time, that's going to be pretty hard for the second, because if you look, okay, again, I hate trend lines, but actually no, screw the trend line, we'll just talk about it in terms of market structure. We can see how these are our low points, right? And you can see how when we broke down, when we reached the high and buyers failed to break previous high from over here, we can see how we came down and then we reached the support and now we're reacting off this support. So what we need to see is, okay, in terms of like the market structure, something like this, where we come up, break above a zone, and then we reach a high point and price fails to break this high point. So it comes back down to another area. It may need to, come up, do some form of retest, and then continue dropping, and then start this new correction phase. So something I'm going to be looking for today. I only really want to take, a nice easy trade to end the week, if there's going to be a nice easy trade. Definitely want to take something that's going to be, of substance and a good trade. So I was considering buys when I came to when I came to the charts this morning over here. Once the 15-minute candle came up to break the high, was something I was looking at. But then I was thinking more, okay, well, we had this, this push down, so this could be like a retracement, corrective phase, and then we see some more downside. So I'm gonna wait for maybe some resistance to form, something like that, and then we're going to anticipate some further move down. So I think if we break this support at 137.630, our next target at that point would be 137.500, which is around 14 pips away. It's not an amazing range, but it's a tradable range, because we secure it like 10 pips, something like that. Hopefully we can get a nicer trade, or get in on the retest so we can get a better entry, something like that. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But the other thing as well is, at what point would I look for buys? Well, I mean, I think obviously a break above 137.900, because this was the high point of the current daily. We'd also be breaking the previous daily high, and I think at that point, because we can see how we've rejected this zone, so if we break these wicks and we close above this area, I think we're going to fill this range, at least coming up to 138. That's what I'm thinking. And then, if we can continue on, then, we can continue up to around 138, 180, 200. So, I mean, buy is obviously more difficult right now, but, I mean, yeah, we don't know. If there's an announcement today or something like that, there's just nothing that we can do about it, but we have to anticipate it. But yeah, morning everyone. So yeah, gonna just see how the 15-minute candle closes over here. There's no real impulse entry on the break of the low, because we have only like 5 pips to the end of the range. So we'll have to see how we react at 137.800, see if we can form some resistance to retest this low, which is around 16 pips. So if it comes up and it creates some resistance around 137.800, 137.90, then I'm gonna have more of a sales bias to retest this low. Yeah, no worries, Kelsey, no problem. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna be looking at. 30-minute candle still open, got around 13 minutes. So I think the 30-minute can continue down to fill these wicks if there's momentum, and if we can break this level, then we can continue down. But to be honest with you, I want to see some form of resistance first formed, and then you can kind of anticipate a break of this minor support with volume. But we can't do that while the candle's still open. It's too risky. But yeah, just waiting for some form of resistance or something like that. It's going to be an easier trade to anticipate. But I think if people are in sells, then somewhere over here would have been a nice entry, because it kind of rejected this area. 15-minute candles, they couldn't close above this zone. Next one created top wick, started to drive down, maybe some sell stops, anticipation. But yeah, no, that was just a straight clean 30-minute candle that came down right to support. Okay, so while we just wait a second here on GJ, because obviously I like this candle to continue up, it's fine. Let's look at gold. Let's check out gold. So looking on the daily time frame, looks like yesterday's candle, failed to break these points. So it looks like it tapped into a major liquidity zone before driving back up above this area. So we also have the potential that if we break the high of the previous daily candle, then gold could continue moving back up to around 1890. Something I've seen happen a lot on the smaller time frames on gold. So you could anticipate the similar move. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour obviously came down to a support around 1859. previous 4 hour also created a support right over here. Looks like the current 4 hour is creating some form of bottom wick, maybe to break its own high. If you look on the 4 hour time frame, we do have clean traffic to the left hand side. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, let's remove everything again. So this is that 4 hour support, you know, somewhere down over here that we kind of tapped into. We also have a support that was created right over here during the Asian session at 1863. Very important support. At the same time, we've also just hit a resistance, right? We've also hit a resistance, 1869 on the 1 hour time frame, and price failed to break above. But it looks like this previous 1 hour did like a huge liquidity grab. So I think you need to see something kind of above this zone for gold to continue up. You do have like a couple of minor resistances, but all in all, let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, I think gold should reach, you know, somewhere over here, like 1874, if it can continue bullish. You know, keeping in mind this area, but yeah. And then at the same time, based on the 30-minute, we've created like a support over here with, you know, quite a long rejection to the downside. So we can kind of see the ranges here make a lot more sense on the 30-minute time frame. So yeah, we'll have to just wait for gold to break out, give a little bit more clearer direction. GJ's coming down now, looking at the 15-minute time frame. It's broken the low of the previous 15. See, there's not enough range for me to take in that sell. Otherwise, you know, I would have been in sells. If there was a range, I would have been in the sells, but there's no range. So what's probably going to be better is if this 30-minute candle can come down and close below 137.630, then we can anticipate the next 30-minute candle to, you know, also continue moving down. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see there. Ooh. Man, it is chilly this morning. So for those of you on the stream yesterday and heard of obviously the radio music, I never got an email from YouTube. Actually, I never got no strike, which is good. So yeah, GJ can continue down, definitely to fill the wick. If it breaks this low, you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, we need to wait to see where it closes. Yeah, that was weird, man. That was super weird. Super weird. Super duper weird. So yeah, we looked at gold. Let's check out US 30, the Dow. Looking on the daily time frame on the Dow, looks like it's trying to do a retracement. Maybe it's going to come back down to this daily support area. Looking on the 4 hour. Looking on the 4 hour time frame, we can see that it's reacting to some form of support over here. Right over here. Trying to come up. We also have a resistance. So once we break this resistance, we have a clean candle to the left hand side on the 4 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame is in a range. 1 hour time frame is in a range. I have a resistance up over here. We also had this previous support resistance area, which looks like it's trying to come back up above this area. Looking on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, that would make sense. So we tried to form some resistance below this area, but price failed to continue down. So it should continue moving bullish with this clean traffic to the left-hand side. So we'll see how US 30 moves. Look at the 15. Yeah, we'll have to see how US 30 moves. But we're probably trying to make some form of high right now. And then see what it does. GJ is continuing down. Got around 6 minutes left. It's maybe one of those days that we just, keep dropping and correct this move. But I don't particularly want to take sells, at these low points. I want to wait for resistance to form, and it's going to be so much better to anticipate more downside based off of that. Let's go to GCAD. So GCAD is dropping. So we can see since London Open, just before London Open, GCAD is dropping. Daily time frame should come down and fill this daily wick. Looking on the 4 hour. Looks like it's got a little bit more room to this 4 hour support. But once it breaks this 4 hour support, we have clean candles to the left hand side. Back to this area right over here. At 1.72500. Looking on the 1 hour. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, we have a little bit more way to go to this support area down over here. Essentially, we are kind of at an area right now. So it kind of needs to break this zone. Then it has another... like 12 pips to go. If we look left based on the 1 hour time frame, we have clean candles to the left coming down to this support area as well. Looking on the 30 minute, we have a little minor support right over here that we, price could have some issues at. But yeah, everything looks good. We have another range to fill. Let's just remove this and just neaten this up. Right, we have another range, which is, around 15 pips. And then once we break this support, we have like another support, which is around 17 pips, etc., etc. We may see some form of pullback, but it looks like there's some heavy bearish momentum. So yeah, it looks like GJ last 4 minutes, see where it can go. Okay, Euro JPY. Ooh. Euro JPY. So previous daily candle on EJ closed bullish. Next candle came up to create some form of top wick. So I think if it breaks the low, it can continue moving down, right? Daily candle can continue moving down, maybe to like 122, 310, 300. Looking at the 4 hour time frame. Oh yeah, looks like the 4 hour created a resistance in the Asian session for price to continue dropping, which is pretty good. We made a low, so if it's going to continue down, it's got some room to continue down to retest this low at 123. Looking at the 1 hour, yeah, that can for sure happen once we break this support at 123, 150. Looks super good. If we bring this down, this was the low created on the 1 hour time frame. We also have like a minor support over here too, just to be aware of. Looking at the 30 minute, so yeah, pretty much once we break this support at 123, 160, we have a clean range, absolute clean range for 20 pips down to 122, 980. So that's something that we can be looking at. And then, once we break that, then we have some further clean traffic coming down to this liquidity zone, this previous support, and the low that was created at 122,860. So a little bit of waiting involved. FTSE is it's back in that range. Back in that range from yesterday. Yeah, this is GOAT. It's a dog range. Back in that range. So we're going to need to wait for some breakout and then we can reassess that. Ooh, looks like GJ is closing weak over here. But we can't take a sell even over here, because we have support. We're tapping into this area. So, yeah, I don't think there's no sells or buys right now. I just want to wait for something a bit more clear, something easy. Morning Mark or Mark. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's see what news we've got here today. See the news. So today we've got CAD retail sales. Okay, so they're expecting worse numbers for CAD retail sales. So that could potentially, have some impact there. Let's look on the news. There's a Brexit news 56 minutes ago. Oh, that's probably what pushed price down. This push down was news then. Right, makes sense. Forgot to check the news. Okay. Let's read this. So EU envoys briefed UK hasn't moved on 3 main Brexit issues. Okay, let's read this up. See what's going on. No comment. No, nothing more than that. Oh, Terry's not happy about Brexit. Oh, yeah, we can see he loves the European Union there. Got his little EU flag, little rainbow. Feminism. Oh, that's a woman. I thought that was Terry is a bloke. That's a woman. Okay. Fair enough, Terry. Right. Anyway, looking on GJ, we can see the 30-minute candle closed bearish, but you see, it closed above this minor support. So right now, there's no trade. There's nothing of substance, nothing really that makes sense. People wanted to take a sell based on this candle closing as a resistance. You got 6 pips to support, so not really a good idea, I don't think. We can't really take buys, but maybe this news is going to get corrected, because this was just an impulsive move, and then that's why we're generating liquidity down over here, maybe for price to continue back up, but there's just nowhere to take an entry, because the range is too small. This range is even smaller. It's like 10 pips. So it may have to be to wait for a break above 137.900. That really may be what the trade is here today. Have you made any trades? Nope, no trades yet. Yeah, the other thing as well that people aren't really talking about, but I mean, the US election isn't over. The US election is not over. I'll tell you now. Despite, those of you may hate Trump, it is well within. It's possible for him to still be re-elected. It very well is. They have a lot of evidence stacking up, I have to say. So we'll have to see how that one pans out. Oh, God. Yeah, looks like this 30-minute candle's coming down to fill the wick, which is fine. But remember, there was not enough range to take a sell. You know, I did say like when a minor resistance is formed, higher probability, you know, for the price to come down. But you know, we have a support over here, so you have to measure the range. You have to measure the range. If the range isn't big enough, then there's no trade. Especially if you know you want to secure at 10 pips, you can't even secure. The only way you could have maybe got 10 pips was if you got in on the top wick, but then you know, yeah, a little bit harder because you don't always know it's gonna do that. Yeah, if I'm gonna take a sell, it's gonna be, you know, below 137 630, or it's gonna be below 137 500. That's it. Because right here, I think it's just ranging. Just ranging. Just ranging. I got a little Twitter now. Got a little Twitter going on over here. Gonna actually start making a Twitter. Better not put me down as a girl. Yeah, a little HFX trading group there. So, is that what it's called me? Group H. I don't like that username. I'll have to get that changed. But yeah, gonna create a little Twitter there. Just some things to post out. Just some things. Hello? No one can hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Should be able to hear me. Can people hear me? Can people hear me in the can people hear me on the YouTube there? And the Zoom? Why can't I hear you? I can. Okay, YouTube can hear me. Zoom. Yeah, because you lot are muted though, aren't you, on the Zoom there? Anyone not muted? Oh, I think it's just Wilksy. He's got his mic on, but I can't hear him. Or Will? No, can't hear Will either. Right, what's going on? Bear with me. Strange. Why can't I hear you? Bear with me. Speak now.
Hello?
Oh, here we go. Got it.
Yeah,
Hey.
We've got it.
yeah, it just wasn't. I don't think we could hear our voice on the YouTube either.
No. I couldn't hear you. That's weird because I had my. I'll tell you what I just did. I went on my, you know, where you go to Zoom and then you go to like mute yourself, and you can obviously change which speaker and microphone you're listening to. I had the right headset in, but when I just retested it with the same headset, finally it started working to hear you lot. So it was a bit strange there, but yeah.
Happy days. All good now.
Yeah, all good now. Everyone can hear each other. So yeah. Twitter is nice to receive breaking news more faster than Forex Factory. Yeah. Got to follow some important people. So yeah, I started following a few people, but we'll see.
Do you think price will just like it's kind of like stuck in a range again? Like
Yeah.
it's come back up and then it's not looking very good.
No, I don't think it's looking good right now. No. Yeah, it's just ranging right now. If we look at the previous 1 hour as well, it literally closed like a nothing candle, you know. So it's either gonna be we're gonna just dump out of this range, which I'm not really interested in a sell stop. But if it was like a Thursday or something like that, Wednesday, with a bit of volume, and because we have a clean candle to the left here, so once we break, see what's kind of going on is we're tapping into this support, and you know price is just failing to break this support. So when we finally get a candle that comes down and breaks this level, you know, this is gonna drop. So we'll have to see. But I can't take buys up over here because, you know, there's not much range coming to one. So I think literally this is going to be the range for buys. In fact, let me do this. This is going to be where the trades are going to be taken. If there's going to be a trade today. Right. It's going to be this range over here is going to be for buys. And then you can take a sell in this range. Or we have this range as well. They're going to be the three trading ranges. You know, anything in here right now is just a no-no. Is an absolute no-no. Because there's no range. You know, this range would have been big enough. This range was a big enough range. But now because of the candles, you know, now they just, you know, you have a support here, you got to resist, you know what I mean? It's not good enough now. So at this point, I can't really take anything until we're either above 137,900 or we're below 137,630. So, yeah, I mean, look at it now. Look, it's completely reversing. See, if this 15-minute candle created this resistance in this structure right up over here, I would have been in sales, it would have tapped the low, and we would have been in and out, and it would have been day over. You know, it would have been a nice 15, 16 pip range. Could have called it a day, and that's it. You know, the only thing that you can kind of see here is, okay, you could argue, you know, if you break the high right over here, you have clean candles coming back up to 137,900. But then you also have this area here that we never formed no resistance. We never retested it. So, you know, price can react to this zone. So that's why I'm not inclined to take anything within this zone. So it's probably going to be some waiting here today. But to be honest with you, it's a Friday. And unless I see something I really like, you know, this week's been tough, right? This week has probably been, I'd actually go to say one of the toughest weeks for me personally. Just because a lot of winning trades would go 8-9 pips in profit, pull back. I mean, if you saw how many entries of mine got stopped out at break even or at like 1 pip, where it was gonna go to 10 pips, could have secured, like I could have had one of the best weeks, but it just, the market conditions weren't there. So to be honest with you, I'm more interested in, you know, trying to wait for next week to come around. And I know we're gonna have a better week next week, but we'll see, you know, if there's something of substance today, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday did nothing. Yesterday moved a bit, so I'm thinking, you know, we could see something on Friday, because the weekly candle, you know, if we look at now, we're coming to the end of the weekly time frame. It is very important where this weekly candle closes. So I think if we close above this area, you know, we could see, you know, the next weekly candle come up to fill this wick. We'll come down to fill this wick, so we have range. But it's just important where the daily closes. But anyway, let's get back to the smaller time frame. So yeah, there's no buys in this zone because, you know, we have a previous area here which could create some issues. But anyway, looks like Euro JPY is dropping down part below that zone that we spoke about. So no confirmation, but it did just drop. GCAD looks like it's kind of doing with the GJ right now and just retracing. Looks like the Dow create a high. It's probably going to pull back. Gold's still ranging. Gold is still ranging. GJ coming up to this area. Morning, bro. Would you have executed on this idea? No problem. Yeah, let's check this out. I've got a chart over here from Imran. Took short to retest lows on that 15-minute bearish candle. Where did I go wrong? Okay, let me check this out. Let's check this out. Okay, so 15-minute time frame. Price created a high, previous resistance from yesterday. Price created a strong support, looking for impulse entries if we break below. Yep, nice. Would you have taken this trade regardless of the range being small? Yeah, I would have taken this trade. I just wasn't on the charts at that point. I think obviously it was an impulsive move. You could have had like a sell stop. So I think it makes complete sense, because if we go to the 30-minute time frame, this was our strong area of support. This was just a minor support. So we can see how we tapped into this area, but we closed at the support. So, I mean, okay, let's even say like from here to this area right over here is around 9 pips. And then if it continued further, it was a good day. But it made sense to continue down either way, because the candles were creating support of this area, failed to break previous high. We can only go up or down or range. So essentially, once we started breaking below these wicks and below this minor support, yeah, I would say it was a pretty good trade. I would have been in sales there too. That would have been the move that I would have wanted to have caught. The only thing for me is I probably would have missed it because of the impulsive move. Sometimes when I just come onto the charts, I'm not like quite straight looking for just an impulsive move. I want to like see a bit of market structure. But yeah, it completely makes sense. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all, really. What you could have done is say like, I'll secure positions there, and then if we continue down to this area, secure the rest of the position there, or you can like adapt it that way. But I mean, yeah, this is only like a minor support, so this was the stronger level. This is definitely the stronger level. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. So as you can see, the 30 minutes come up to this area, tapped into it. Now just pulling away. 15-minute candle close bullish at this zone. See, now we can't even take sells again if we create resistance, because now we have a minor support here, we have another minor support here. So this range is just goat. If 10 pips is always your first TP, do you find most of your trades are 1-to-1 risk reward, or sometimes even an inverse R to R? If I secure at 10 pips, then what I always try and seek to do is make sure that if my stop loss is 10 pips, I don't want to take a full stop loss hit. So the way I trade is that I secure at 10 pips, and if my trade is say going against me, I want to get out with maybe like -6, -5, so that in terms of not actual risk to reward on the original setup, the risk to reward on the original setup is around 1-to-1. I'm always going to secure at 1-to-1, like in theory, 10 pips for 10 pips, etc. If it's like 8 pips stop loss, I'm still securing at 10. I'm not going to secure at 8 pips because I have a strict, I secure at 10 pips, and then I let maybe a small piece run in certain circumstances. But the way that I trade, and the way that I do it on the stream here, is if a trade isn't going my way, I'm not going to just hold it to see if it goes in my direction. If things occur that are going to reduce the probability, I'm going to take some risk off, and then the ended up risk to reward would end up being that the 10 pips would actually be greater than the original 1-to-1, because now at this point, let's say I get out with a -5 pips, then that means it's actually a 2-to-1 now, if technically I would have secured the position. So like the way I see it, as long as the stop loss, original stop loss is 10 pips, then and I have a position to reduce risk, then I'm never gonna. I don't ever want to take a full 10 pip stop loss. It happens sometimes. Sometimes price moves too fast. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. But that, you know, those times it just, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, next week, like this week's been hard, but next week, you know, it's motivated me in a sense that next week I'm like, okay, well, I want to be even more disciplined. You know, I want to be even more better on the ball. So next week, I think I'm gonna have a really, really good week. You know, price should be not ranging like it has been a week this week. So we'll see. No worries, no worries. So yeah, we can see now the 30-minute candle's coming up and it's rejecting this area at 137,800. So yeah, price is just ranging. Just ranging. So yeah, probably going to want to wait for a break of 137,630 to continue moving down. That's going to be the trade. So yeah, I've just added onto the stream there just some news for you guys. So obviously I said that the mentorship was closed for a little while just because I had a lot of things to do this month. It was a very busy month, and I didn't particularly want to have to. I get a lot of messages as it is, man. The amount of DMs that I get just off Instagram, you know, let alone you know, obviously helping people in the group and stuff. So I had a little bit of commitments this month, but they're gonna be, well, they're kind of mostly wrapped up now. I've got one more thing to do for the end of the month. So that's why I've put there that the mentorship will be reopened from the 1st of December. So it's going to be reopened from the 1st of December. It's going to be over for a couple more months. And then in the new year, I've decided that in the new year, we're probably going to close it again for a little while, just so we can get, just a certain amount of people in at a time. It's not even about the numbers for me. It's just about being able to, handle the amount of demand for, help and stuff. So, yeah, just a little bit of information there. But yeah, probably after the new year, be closed again, and then after that, I'm obviously going to make an announcement nearer the time. But the lifetime fee will probably increase, just because the people who got in now, they want to get in the group, and that's fine. But after that, I'm not really interested. In like sign-ups aren't really a big thing for me. So, to have someone join, they got to be willing to pay to get in, essentially, because at that point I just kind of want to build a nice small team, for the Zoom, not have to have like a big, so then that will filter out, trying to keep it a little bit more small, and maybe for people who are a bit more serious about trading with us. So yeah, just a little bit of news there anyway. But you'll be updated via Instagram about all that type of thing, so don't worry, because the whole website, the website's going to completely be renewed for the 1st of December. It's going to be I've got some things to put on there and stuff. So it's going to be new website. So we'll check that out after the 1st of December. But yeah, GJ just doing nothing right now. Will you use higher time frames, daily 4 hour, for a bias, or do you tend to focus on the 15-30 minute in order to be more reactive? I think you've kind of answered your own question, to be honest. Exactly. I use the higher time frames for a bias. Like, we spoke about the daily time frame. We have a little bit more of a bearish bias based on, the previous daily candle close. We look at the 4 hour though. 4 hours now different, because we have a different picture on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour time frame's looking at, well, if we're respecting 137,600 and we're creating support in this area, then the 4 hour time frame is staying above the previous zone. Okay, so let's do this. So 4 hour, this is the area we need to respect, 137,600. Like, let's just put this up to you. It's the exact area where we were looking for sells below, right? And that would make sense, because then the 4 hour candles are coming back below this area. So this is a zone on the 4 hour that we need to stay below for price to continue moving down. So that works in the same way that we need to stay above. We need to stay above for price to continue moving bullish. Okay, so that's how I kind of form my bias. And then obviously we go on the smaller time frames, like you say, to be more reactive, seek the smaller ranges, seek confirmations, supports, etc. Got stopped out on short on 15 minutes. Did I go wrong somewhere? Took it when that 15-minute form to retest lows and further. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your comment there. So Harmon, did you take a sell over here? And then we can discuss the reason why that potentially wasn't a good idea. But was this the area that you took a sell? If you want to let me know there. Looks like the 15-minute candle is coming up to break the high. So it's probably coming back up into this zone over here. So yeah, I mean, if we break above 137,900, then we're going to continue bullish. We're going to continue bullish. Break these wicks, and then we should continue up. Okay, so I discussed this trade at the beginning of the stream. And what I said is that this resistance forming, right, we don't have enough range to continue moving down. The reason is this range from, this resistance down to this support is only 8 pips, right? It's only 8 pips. And yes, you could say, well, I was anticipating the low to break, But one thing I've always learned about, selling to the low is you always secure at the low point. And then if price, oh, look at this. There better not be some news or something. Any news? I know you guys are on it with the news. So yeah, it looks like this 30-minute candle is trying to break above 137,900. So this is pretty good if we're looking for buys, right? This is pretty good. If we look at the 4 hour now, 4 hours coming up to fill this wick. 4 hours, yeah. So this is for buys. If price can close above this area, ooh, just closed at it. Yeah, we can't take a buy now anyway because stop loss is going to be too big. So, I mean, you could take an entry once we break the high, like an impulse entry. Yeah, but then I don't really like that. Okay, maybe I'm going to wait for some support, something like that. But we'll see. Because we have a lot of issues here to the left. Yeah, that was some push. That was some push up, I have to say. But yeah, Harmon, there was not enough range. And the idea on the 4 hour time frame was discussed that, this area, if we stay above this area, then the 4 hour time frame can't continue further down. So when it was wicking into this area, it's tapping into this low and then it's reacting to this area, So if you look over here, price retraced to retest this low, test the low, and then it went the complete other direction. So if there's not enough range to the low point, I'm not going to be in that trade, So if that's why I said if the resistance was formed up over here, we would have had enough range to take the sell because that's like 16 pips away. And then, you could secure at the low, put stops at break even, and then if it continues running, then you're laughing. But you always need to secure at the low point. So that was your mistake, buddy. So we can remove this because we're not in that range right now. So yeah, I mean, if we get like a weak bearish candle close at this area and then the next one breaks the high, something like that is also going to be good. So I'm going to wait for this 15-minute candle to close because I'm not going to want to take a buy, like right over here because, yeah, we don't know how much it can push up. But certainly this move down was, like a fundamental news. Okay, let's consult our Twitter over here. See if we got anything new come in. What's this? China and the EU held the 34th round of bilateral investment treaty. What's this? Ooh, Airbnb. Damn. Anyway, back to GJ. Yeah, gonna wait to see how the 15-minute candle closes. If it closes like a weak candle, then we may anticipate like a further move bullish. But definitely just going to wait, let it do its thing. Because it closed above this resistance, but it didn't close above this area. It closed at this area. So almost it would be an impulse entry. So that's what I'm saying. If the first 15-minute candle, comes down, creates a bottom wick and closes weak, and then the next one comes down and breaks the high, then it's almost like the 30-minute candle. The 30-minute candle was creating a bottom wick to continue bullish, and it was almost that impulse entry to continue moving up. So we're going to at least wait to see how the first 15-minute candle closes. But yes, patience, my young YouTube traders. So guys in the Zoom there. Will, Kelsey, all you guys, how you liking the group so far? Let's get some feedback. I've not asked any of you guys really about how you're liking it. Are you enjoying the webinars? You enjoying the daily breakdowns? Is there anything that you guys think would be beneficial to you?
I mean, I've been here from pretty much the start
Yeah,
of the group.
Kelsey's been here from day one.
I'd have to say, like, you're only bringing out more and more stuff as the days go by. Like, obviously, you started off more focusing on like webinars and stuff, but now you've put a lot more time into like the day to day like stuff more so. So I think as long as you carry on like building it up and stuff, it's going to be great for new people that join for sure in the new year and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, and I think from I'm gonna try. So when the mentorship reopens on the 1st, I'm gonna try and get us the news terminal for
Oh
the
yeah,
Discord. If I can
that's
do
what.
that, I think I should be able to do that. But if I can, then that's gonna be wicked. That would be really cool.
It's just good to have like a little group every day. You can always send charts in, get your feedback on it. You can even go on a call with you if you want to for a short period and just talk through any things that you're struggling with. And it's pretty hard in these bigger groups to actually get that because you're one in hundreds,
Yeah,
whereas this group's quite small, so it's good.
yeah, exactly. That is true. That is true. Will there or Aaron, Nicholas, anything to add? You guys got any feedback? Doesn't have to be positive. Can be you hate it, but it's good to hear from you guys what you think. But yeah, I think the group size is definitely true, because I know that people message me and stuff from the group. I send them little recordings, or we have a little Zoom call or whatever. So yeah, there's plenty. They get plenty of my time.
And if there is people like on the YouTube and they're just learning, like it's all well and good trying to like learn and stuff, but before you chuck like money into a live account and pretty much blow it, just invest into like a little bit of education
Oh yeah.
to give you that head start.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you can't invest in the education side, I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be with me. I'm just talking about
No, yeah,
education in general. If you're not willing to, if you want to go straight in making money, then that money that you're going to blow could have been spent on the education to make sure that you don't blow it. But yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, I would like to see this 15 close super weak, because it looks like it's creating some form of liquidity wick. I don't want to take an entry while the candle's still open, because that would be risky today. So I want to make sure it closes weak, and then if the next one comes up to break the high, then I'm going to anticipate a continuation. I think we should hit 138. Ooh, a lot of questions. Are you going to be streaming in December? Yeah, streaming in December. I don't know around actual Christmas time. I mean, I don't know what other streamers do if they take the time off or whatever, but to be honest with you, like, I have nothing else to do, so yeah, I'll probably be streaming all the way throughout. Probably, obviously, not like Christmas Day or anything. Probably bank holiday anyway, but yeah, no. But yeah, the days that I can, I will, etc. Just want to say cheers for the streams as well, bruv, even though I ain't in the group. Yeah, that's alright, foe mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, see, like, I want, the whole point of the streams was I wanted to be fair. Like, it's not just about trying to get people to sign to your private group. Like, that's for people who want to be on the Zoom, want to be a little bit more involved. But I don't mind, if people just want to come on the free YouTubes. I mean, that's what they're here for, right? So it's not like, yeah, that's it. Like, it's here. I'm here to help everyone, but those who want to pay for the extra help will get that extra help, and that's it. Have you bought your first property yet? No, not yet. That's my it's a little goal of mine over the next few years. That's what I want to do. Get my first property. Been on this Forex thing for nearly 5 years now, and you're the most helpful stream I've watched. I appreciate that a lot. That's very kind. HFX, there is a minor zone to the left. Doesn't it bother you? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I see what you're saying, but let me just, in fact, this could be a good little teaching point as well. So I think, when we have, okay, so let's put it this way. This was an area of issue on which, okay, let me just see the date. So this was an area of issue on the 18th of November. Okay, and then on the 19th of November, we reacted to this area, right? We reacted to this area. Now, when we look at today, we come to today, the 20th, we also reacted to this area, right? So if price is going to continue bullish, we've already rejected this minor zone, okay? So if we have momentum, because we rejected it before, price can only go up or down. We're either going to reject it again and then we're going to continue further dropping. But based on this push up that we're trying to close back above this area, I think that it's okay on this opportunity, basically, because we've already reacted to this area this morning. And if we're not going to react to it now, then we should just continue pushing, break through this zone. Sorry, I had a little bit of a hiccup there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So this 15-minute candle, if it can close like a week 15, then it's going to be a good idea once the next one breaks the high that we should continue moving up, and I think we should break through this zone for sure. But say there's a zone. Okay, let's do it the flip way. Let's say how are we going to do this? Let's say these wicks don't exist. It's not really black. Hang on. Let's say these wicks don't exist. Right. These wicks don't exist. These wicks don't exist. And then we have this zone. I would be like, yeah, okay, we could react to this area. Because, we haven't come up. We could react to this minor support. But the fact we'd already tapped into it this morning and rejected it. And now we clearly, came down, generated some more buyer liquidity to continue bullish. I think we can continue up, but we'll see. But yeah, no, you got to be aware of it, of course. Like, it would be silly not to be aware of it. But when you see that price has already reacted to it in a certain day, and then it retraces and then comes back up, there's a higher chance at that point then. Let's put it that way. The first time it comes to an area, there's a high chance it could react. When it comes back to that area after retracing, there's a higher chance it can break that area. I think that's the best way I can put it. But you see this 15-minute candle is not closing weak. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to take a buy up over here. 4-hour open is concerning me. How long we got? Oh yeah, 17 minutes. That's another point there. Is another point. So it could be the next 4-hour. See, if we look at the time frames now, it definitely is important. Because we're coming to the last 15 minutes. So if this 15-minute candle closes really weak, then we could get that last squeeze on the last 15 minutes of the candle. But if this closes like a strong bearish candle, then yeah, there's no break of the high for me. Not really interested, because then you're right, it's coming into that last. But when we get these weak candles and then you're expecting momentum, that's the times where it's like, okay, it could make sense for that to happen. So you see right now it's not really closing that weak. So as it stands, yeah, not really interested in taking a break of the high right now. Yeah. Last 30 seconds. Look at the 5 minute. Oh yeah, 5 minutes coming down. Yeah, looks like there's no buys. There's no buys. Price just ranging. Yeah, there's nothing. You know, I know the 30-minute candle's still open, but I mean, the chances now of it coming up, I think, are pretty hard. Especially the way this 15-minute candle's closed. I mean, it's closed too strong for me to want to take a break of the high, to be honest with you. Because what's the stop going to be? Stop loss makes sense, but at the same time, it was a healthy candle. So it doesn't make sense to expect a continuation. So yeah, I think I'll miss that one if it does come up and break this high. That last 15 minutes of the 4 hour. Do you just trade one session London? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've stopped trading Asian, to be honest. Like have a look while I'm doing like my pre-analysis, and there's something that's like really, really good, then maybe. But more if it's something that I can like try and hold. But yeah, I don't think a break of the high is gonna be a good idea. Stop makes sense, but I just don't like this candle. Because, you know, we came up, tapped into that area again. And then the next candle immediately closed strong. Similar to like what happened here. We came up, strong bullish candle, tapped into this area. Next 15-minute candle closed strong bearish. And then obviously we tried to create some more support. But, I mean, like, you know, the move just wasn't sustained. So, unless some news comes out, some crazy news comes out. Is pushing up. See, if this candle closed weak, it would have been a great idea. But I'm less confident because of how this candle closed. Way less confident. It may also even be that the 30-minute candle closes like a weak 30-minute candle, you know. Doesn't always have to be based off the 15. So let's say the 30-minute candle closes like a weak bearish, and the next one wicks down and then breaks the high on the new 4-hour candle, then that also may make sense. Okay, let's check this chart out. Not sure what to make of that circled area, whether I should be marking that as a higher high. Okay, we'll take a look. Sharif, we'll take a look for you. Okay, Japanese yen, 30-minute time frame. So you're looking at that as a higher high, higher high. Expecting support to be formed around here for a bullish move back to test the previous high. So I suppose you got in some buys over there. Makes sense the way you're looking at the chart. Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about this as like a structure. I think you need to worry about it as like price action. So you're looking at this area right over here as a support, and that's the reason why we tapped into this support and then we created that higher low, right? So this is the area where, you know, there was some demand for, you know, the buy because price pushed up from this area. So you're looking at this, you don't need to like circle it, but what you look at is we're looking at these supports, right? So this is support, 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 right? So now you want to see where the next support is created. Can they create a support up over here to continue up? You know, can we create support up over here? So when you start to see these higher lows, you know, that's the confirmation that you can keep expecting price to continue moving up. But yeah, don't even think you need to like circle it or anything, but you need to just be aware of these zones. You know, these are zones at the end of the day. This is a zone, this is a zone, this is a zone, right? This is a resistance, so still a zone. There's the same resistance over here, so you can just put that all together. So it's just zones. And then when you look at the zones, you're like, okay, well, I can clearly see we're in an uptrend because we're creating these higher low points, right? So either I want to wait for like a break of structure, you know, for price to create some lower highs and then anticipate a correction of this move, or to, you know, go with the trend and then wait for some further support and then see if we can continue further bullish. But yeah, I don't think you need to have a circle. But so what's GJ doing? Ooh, pushed up, but yeah, it's not got long left now. I do think though, if this 4-hour candle closes bullish, we may just see one of those pushes, especially if there's like news or. So we'll see. Oof. So yeah, I think at this point we can remove this zone. A clean candle now. Bro, last week I started journaling my trades and I was wondering if I could send you my last trade because I have some doubts about risk management. Yeah, if you send it on Instagram DM, I'll take a look. I'll take a look. After the stream, we'll take a look. Ooh, looks like GJ is coming up to break the high, but I really don't. Ooh, interesting. See, it can continue up, but it's like the last 5 minutes of the 4-hour, the 30-minute. I'd rather see this 30-minute candle close weak, to be honest. I'd rather see I'd rather see this candle close weak, to completely honest. I'd rather see the 30-minute candle close weak. Because then if the next 15-minute candle creates some form of bottom wick, and you know the new 30-minute comes up, breaks the high, it's gonna be could be good. Which year did you start trading? 2017. Yeah, 2017, 26. Yeah, 2017. So I was 17 years old. So we can wait for the 30-minute close and then buy after the break of the 30-minute high, right? Yeah, it could work. It could work. I think this candle needs to close like a weak bearish candle in the last 5 minutes. And then, yeah, if the next one creates like a bottom wick and then breaks the high, it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. But, yeah, we need to see how the 30-minute candle closes. Yeah, I think if we're down to like the last 3 minutes, yeah, I'm not really interested in a break of the high of the current 30-minute. I think it's gonna be, not good. If you have 2 losses in a row, do you stop for the day? What's your rule on it? Yeah. So I have a 2 bias, I have a two bias rule. It used to be 3. And then what I did was I looked at all the days that I took 3 trades, and then I'd be like, okay, well, how many of the third trade did I win? So what percentage of that third and final trade did I win? Because I'd already taken 2 losses, and I found that literally, I think it was like 1 in 4 trades after that third trade would win. So if the bias didn't work the first time, didn't work the second time, then there's a higher chance it's not going to work the third time. But what I also found was, because this is how you're going to improve, right? You got to look at your performance. You got to look at how you've done, look at the decisions you've made, and see how could you have lost, not taken those losses. So what I did was I looked at those losses, and I was like, okay, well, what I found was that when I took a first loss, there was a higher chance that the second trade would be a win, right? So if you think about it like that, so the first trade you have the most probability to win because it's a fresh trade. You've already put the probabilities of that trade working out. So let's say it's a 80% chance that trade's going to win, and that trade loses, then I'm like, okay, so I've taken a loss. But then the second trade, there should be a higher probability that the second trade will then go in my direction if I have the same confirmations or better confirmations. But then by the third trade, I found that less of the third trades would win. So when I would only take 2 trades in a day and the first one was a loss, more of the second trades were wins than losses. So let's say around 60% of the second trades were wins. But then when it came to 2 losses and a win, so the third trade was a win, only around 25%. So 1 in 4 was a win. So that's when I decided to go to 2 trades, to give my trade 2 chances, and then I call it a day. So now we've got the last 2 minutes of the 15, last 2 minutes of the 30-minute, last 2 minutes of the 4-hour. It's closing weak, hours closing weak below this zone, 30 minutes closing a weak, 30 minutes closing a strong bearish, so that means, it's not closing good for us to take a trade. The 15-minute candle is closing weak bullish, which is not, a strong support in that sense. So, maybe this move up is also going to get corrected. We can head back down to 137,600. Who knows? Out of how many trades have you calculated this thing regarded the third trade? Okay, so I think it was from January this year, January 2020 to June 2020. So a good 6 months worth of data I looked at all my trades, and that was the percentage that I found. So I basically, all my journal trades, I would look at each day and I'd say, okay, which days did I take, 3 trades? Which days did I take 2 trades? And let's see, it's combined. Let's say I had 15 days in total that I took 2 trades. And let's say how many of those days the first one was a loss, second one was a win. I would see that, okay, maybe 10 plus the second trade would win. And then what I'd find was I look at how many trades did I take, which days did I take a trade where the third trade, I took 3 trades. So look at that, and then I'd say, okay, did I take 2 losses? Well, yeah, I would have done, because I wouldn't have taken a third trade if I had taken 1 win, 1 loss. So 2 losses and then a win. How many of those days where I took 3 trades was the third trade a win, right? And then I found that, let's say it was 12 days, something like that, I would find that maybe only 3 or 2 would be winning. So it didn't make sense to continue doing that, because once I found that the second trade didn't play out, chances are neither's the third trade, right? So yeah, so the 30-minute candle came to a close. It closed with a strong body, but barely a wick to the bottom. So I mean, let's look at the 1 hour. 1 hour closed below this resistance too, which isn't really a good sign if we want to continue bullish. Looking at the 4 hour, 4 hour closed a bearish. It looks like it rejected this area. So I mean, yeah, I don't know yet. Price is not really clear right now. But one thing's for sure. Yeah, there's no trade right now for me. Yeah. Okay. I will call it a week. Good weekend, guys. See everyone Monday. Yep. See you, Charlie. Thanks for coming. See you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Look on the 5-minute real quick. Looking at the 5-minute, price should continue down. Maybe, just maybe, if we get a weak bullish 15-minute close and then the next one breaks that low, we could see a correction back down to this 137,630 level. Maybe. If the 15-minute candle closes like a weak 15-minute. Maybe a sell to the bottom of the range after the 4 hour makes his top wick. Yeah, but if the thing is even if a 4 hour makes the top wick, doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna flip back bearish. Candles do all form kind of in the same way. So if you look at the 4 hour, you could argue that the 4 hour candle closed so weak bearish that the next one could just come up and break the high and continue up because it closed so weak. You could argue that. But then you need to go to your smaller time frames for confluence. So I'm going to wait to see how the first 15-minute candle closes here. And then I'm going to reassess. But I'm actually going to go make a drink because I haven't had a drink this morning. So yeah, while I go and do that, I'm going to go do that. And then I'll be back in a minute. I'll leave you guys with some tunes. I know you lot love the stream music. So yeah, probably gonna at least wait for the first 15-minute candle. So I'll be back in a minute, guys. Oh, I'm just seeing this comment. How many trades a day do you take? Depends, but if I have a win, then I'll just call it a day at 1 win. If I take a loss, then I'll give my trade a second chance. So 2 trades. 2 trades at most. Okay. I'll be back. going on, guys? Yeah, so I think if we look at the 30-minute, I was just checking the YouTube, and it did break the high of the previous 30-minute candle. So I think what I'm going to do is, if this 15-minute candle flips bullish, then I could execute a buy position. That's a jog back. Whew. So yeah, I'll probably give these buys one chance. Yeah, I like the music too. I'm gonna turn it off now. So yeah, I think if this 15-minute candle breaks the high of the previous 15-minute candle, that's the point I'll execute a buy position. So as it's coming up to break the high, if it can break the high, then we're gonna be entered in. Are you not buying at an old strong 4-hour support level? Well, yes and no, really. But I mean, essentially, once the 15-minute candle comes up to break its own high, it should continue moving bullish. You know, because we're breaking the high of the previous 30-minute candle. 1 hour should continue up. Fill that wick. No stops below the 15. Stops will be below the previous candle, around 11 pips. Yeah, I think if it breaks the high, it should be good. Yeah, if it can break the high of the previous 15, then it should continue moving bullish. You know, this 15-minute candle could just be creating some little bit of a liquidity wick, and then if it comes to break the high, we have some wicks to fill. We have some upside to reach. Look at the 5-minute. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, this will be my one trade for the day though. You know, kind of expecting the last 10 minutes of the 30-minute to continue pushing us up. You know, because we kind of came back above this level. This was like a retracement candle. So it should be good, but we need to wait to see if it can break the previous high. Previous 3-4 hour candles have long bottom wicks. If were to move up, shouldn't we be expecting the bottom wick to be formed first? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We haven't broken the high yet though, remember. You know, I'm not in a trade yet. Yeah, it was, you know, it hasn't done its thing yet, you know, this candle's still open. But yeah, like technically you're right. You know, if we're going to continue down, then should create that bottom wick, but there's no rule to say that it has to do that. just focusing in on the smaller time frames, and that's it. You know, focusing in on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute, and we're getting those confirmations, then I'm going to execute based on the smaller time frames, because they make up the higher time frames, you know. Whew, man, it is cold today. If you're from the UK, we're taking one for the team. It is freezing. So yeah, candle's coming up to break the high. So if it does break this high, then we'll be executing. Come on, GJ. Oh, look at that. Literally not even, what, half a pip. Oh. I'm wrapped up in a blanket. I don't blame you. It is freezing. I do not blame you. But yeah, I know some people may have got in on the break of the high of the 30-minute, which is good. It makes sense, but I wanted to see this 15-minute, you know, at least break the high of the previous 15-minute, because then I know it would be creating like a little bit of a bottom wick to continue bullish. Yeah, I was so close to getting in, but yeah, I definitely think at this point there's more of a bullish bias. I mean, we corrected that whole downward push. You know, we're back at this area. We formed some more support. So, yeah, it should be good. Where am I from? I'm from London. So, London. And trust me, it is cold. 15-minute candles coming down. 30 minutes retracing. Buy limit. No, I'm not going to use a buy limit. I don't want to use a buy limit. I wanted to see a break of the high. That's what I wanted to see. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to do that right now. Yeah, no buy stop. I'm just going to execute once we break this high right over here. Yeah. Gotta wait. Yeah, I think the break of the high of the 15 makes more sense because, I mean, yeah, the 30-minute, it made sense once it broke the high, but it was, yeah, it was a little bit riskier. Ooh, 15's coming down. Nice retrace. I'm really interested just to see how it moves on the 5-minute. I never really watched the 5-minute. Something that I want to start doing a little bit more. Not for execution, but just to, like, you know, at a little point where I can just kind of, you know, look at the 5-minute, look at the structure, see what's going on. Do you cut your losses when the trade is not going your way? Yes. Yeah, that's something that I do. Last 10 seconds. This 5-minute candle's closing weak. I wonder if the next 5 minutes are going to also continue up. Probably if it breaks the high of that previous 5-minute, should continue up. May do, may not. So yeah, I think if we break this high, we should go. How do I cut my losses short? I cut my losses short when either candles close against me, candles break the high or the low of a candle, you know, all that stuff. There's plenty of ways to look at reducing the risk. Plenty of ways. Yeah, I mean, if this 5-minute breaks all these highs, then we're off to the races. There we go. nearly in this. Yeah, I'm in this position now, in this buy. So I'm just going to put the target up at like 138, and then I'm going to keep the stop loss below the previous 30-minute, below the previous 15 minutes, so we just mitigate the risk at that point. I know there's like 3 minutes left to close, but then, you know, we can anticipate that the next candle should, you know, like create some form of small bottom wick and then continue up. So if this 30-minute candle closes, you know, back below this area, then at that point I'll close like 50% of the position. But I think at this point we should get a last squeeze with this 15-minute. Looks like create like a little liquidity wick there to continue up. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway, because this will be my last trade for the day, for the week. Yeah, if it's too risky for you, you know, this is you know, obviously my trading plan, and I didn't want to take it based on the 30-minute. You know, something extra I wanted to wait for was obviously on the 15 to break that previous high, and then I was more confident in the buys. But, you know, so let's say this 15-minute candle closes bearish, then, I mean, to be honest, if it closes a week bearish, there's a higher opportunity for the next one to continue up, to be honest. But obviously we'll let it do its thing. But I'm thinking we should hopefully get a push the last 2 minutes is what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. But yeah, this will pretty much be like my one trade. You know, but if this 15-minute candle closes bearish, then we just reduce the risk and, you know, let a position run. I'm gonna wait for a weak bearish candle, then enter off the break of the high. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, no. If you guys are waiting for things, then you should stick to your own plan. That is the art of trading. But you see, if this 30-minute closes below this area, then I'm gonna close 50% because, you know, it's already broken all the highs. 15-minute candle broke the previous high, so it should continue up. Looks like the 5 minutes reversing a little bit there, but it's not closed yet. Yeah, once a candle prints, it can't be undone. Well, the candle's still open. You know, it's harder at that point. So, yeah. So if this candle closes bearish in a minute's time, then yeah, at that point, I'm going to close some positions off this trade. But it hasn't closed yet. Yeah, I was really expecting once we broke this to continue up. I have to admit, but I mean, we'll see. 50 seconds left. But if it closes weak, like above this range, then I mean, it does still look like okay to continue up, I have to say. Last 30 seconds. Probably not going to get a squeeze now, but I mean, even if this 15-minute candle closed bullish, there's no reason at that point to close positions because the candle closed bullish, it just closed weak. Ooh, but it's now back bearish. Yeah, in these last 10 seconds, it's probably going to go the which way it's going to want to close. Okay, so the 15-minute candle closed a weak bearish candle. I do think, though, if the next one breaks the high, it should continue up. I mean, 30-minute just closed below that area. Yeah, I think I'm going to take some risk off this trade. Oh, what happened there? Okay, that's not working for some reason. Why is my magic keys not doing that? Man, it always does this. Always does this. Okay, one sec. I need to close 50% right here. Right, I'm gonna have to do it from me mobile. You know them ones there. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Oh, it's coming up to break the high though. Yeah, if it does break this high of the previous 15 minute, then I would agree with the guys who waited that it should continue up. I think if it breaks this high, I'm just gonna hold the trade. There's no reason to close it, I suppose, if it breaks the high again. Maybe it's a good thing I haven't closed half. Just maybe. See, if it does break this high, it's such a high probability at that point. Let me give it a couple minutes to do its thing. See what it does. Will you reduce the stop loss? Yeah, what I'm going to do is if it probably breaks this low, I'm going to exit the full position. Right over here, 137.850. I'll get out the full position. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to leave the full position to run. And then if it just breaks this low, then there should be no reason for me to stay in that trade. If we look at the 30-minute candle closed bullish, closed at this area. So I think once the next candle breaks the high of the previous 30-minute candle, we should continue moving up. So I think if we break this low, then I'm just going to close the full position and call it a day at that point. But I mean, I'm hoping it's just going to make some little bit of a bottom wick and then come up to break the high. That's what I'm hoping. But we'll see, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this 100 times, and most of the time it's going to respect this low and break the high. But because it's a Friday, and I don't particularly want to be sitting in drawdown, if it breaks this low, I'm probably just going to exit the trade. Because what I want is for this candle to then come up and break this high. And then at that point, I'm going to be confident that the full position should run into profits. You know, but if we break this low, then there's, you know, such a smaller chance that the trade's going to work out. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, if this 5-minute closes bullish, then it's creating some support in this area to continue up. It's pretty good. Looking at the 5-minute, you can see these candles are weaker, but looks like it came down to create some liquidity, and this 5 minutes now trying to close a little bit stronger, so it's looking better. It's looking better. Yeah, let's see if this 15-minute can break the high. And yeah, like I say, if it comes down and breaks this low, then I'm just gonna be out of the trade at that point. And then just call it a week. So pretty much if this breaks this low and I'm out of the trade, then I'm break even for the week, which I'm okay with that because it was a tough week anyway. And yeah, I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is being at a loss for the week. Ooh, look at this 5 minute. We've got around 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left. So yeah, I think it should continue up, but it's just stalling right now. It's taking its time, deciding where it wants to go. Yeah, I mean, I think this 30 minutes should continue up. We've created support at this resistance. There's a higher chance this resistance is going to break. I think the probabilities are there. Just needs to respect this low. But yeah, I've repeated myself enough times now, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, if this 5 minute flips, that would be sweet. That would be sweet, mate. It's coming down. So it's coming down. Yeah, so like I say, if it breaks that 15-minute low, I'm out. Down, then break even for the week. And this week is over. I haven't had a week like this in a long time. So many positions, man. So many positions were like in profits, pull back, hit stop loss. Like, yeah. As annoying as it is, this is the market that we trade in. Yeah, you're right. Once it breaks the 30-minute high, it should continue up. But it may not do so. Remember that. May not do so. Yeah, I think November in general has been underestimated. November. Yeah, definitely underestimated November. November I thought was going to be a good month. But so, yeah, I mean, to be fair, the first week in November was good. And then the last 2 weeks have been tough. The week before last was okay because it just started off hard, and then, you know, towards the end of the week, you know, like a lot of things ended up started going my way. But with the this week has just been, yeah, probably one of the toughest weeks that I've traded, just because of this just pure market conditions have just been so tough. Okay, so if you look at the 5 minute, yeah, I don't know at this point. I'm just gonna stick to the 15 minute. So we've got 4 minutes left. So pretty much if it kind of breaks its own low, which is just done now, it's probably gonna be, yeah. So it looks like it's coming down at this point. Not really working out. Yeah, so I just got out of this trade now at this point. That's it. My week is complete. Break even. So, wow. Yeah, watch it break this low and then shoot up. But yeah, that's it. My week is complete. This week has just been dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. But there you go. So that's my last trade of the week. And we are done. Let's have a better week next week, hopefully. Hopefully. Anybody still in this trade? Anybody still in this trade? Yeah, I got out with like around 5 pips. So not bad. Man, if this breaks the high now, that is taking the mic. Okay, got a few people still in the trade. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I will, but I may, just may give it another chance. Only if I get like some better confirmation now, because I don't really, just may. But I don't particularly want to, just if I get that extra confirmation. I've got a buy stop at the top of this candle, but wasn't in the previous trade. Yeah, nice. Think that could work out. I think if it breaks the high of the previous 15, I could give it another try, but I don't. I'd rather it didn't. I'd rather just, I'd rather it just be, obviously, for the guys in the trade, but I mean, for me, like, I don't particularly want to have to. Well, not have to, but I don't want to take another trade. So both 15-minute candles are trying to close like very weak. 30-minute. Yeah. May give it a second chance if we break the high of the previous candle. May. If this 15 closes bullish though, that's looking good. That's looking good at that point. Oh, look how weak this 15-minute candle is closing. I think if you're looking for buys above these two candles, I would wait for some form of bottom wick first. Just because, you don't want to get caught out if this candle, start to just shoot back down. But I may give it another try if we break this wick over here. Lost a couple of savage ones this week where it flew my direction but touched stop loss. Yeah, that happens, man. That does happen. I think you should blame Brexit. Just blame Brexit. Yeah, I think at this point there's no buys. I don't think at this point there's any buys. So yeah, think it's just gonna be called a week at this point. The buys don't look good. There's no sells because we have support here. Just nothing. Just nothing right now. Yeah, gave the buys one chance and didn't play out. But yeah, man, this week has been tough to say the least. But we'll have a better week next week. Next week will be a good week. Yeah, I don't think there's no buys at the moment, guys. Looks like this area is some area of importance too. Yeah, GJ is just ranging right now. GJ is just ranging. So yeah, I think if you took a loss today, like I did, then I would just call it a week at this point. To be honest, yeah, I'm calling it a week. That's it. And then we're gonna go again, fresh heading next week. So this is the first week in a while that I've had like a break-even week. I've had a lot of trades that just haven't gone my way this week, but you can't. It's just one of those things, market conditions, and you just have to know when to. You just have to know when the market is reacting like that. You just need to be more cautious. So I give the trade one try. Didn't play out. That's it. But we see this. I see this happen a lot. When a candle closes bullish at a resistance, if the next one wicks down and then comes up to break the high, it should continue up. I lost all my profits this week. How did you manage to lose all your profits? On today? You lost all your profits today? Yeah, it looks like it would have been a losing trade over there. Look at this. Yeah, it did make sense though. It did really make sense, but now the buys are out of the question at this point. Not only today, but during this week. Was that due to overtrading? Did you overtrade? Because if you overtraded, then that's the reason why you've lost your profits. Any tips on trading too much? How many trades should a beginner make? How many trades should a beginner take in a day? Obviously that's up to you. But if you want to cement the discipline in from day one, then I suggest you take 2 trades maximum. If you take a win, you should call it a day. If you take a win and you take a second trade, then man, you deserve to lose that money. You've got to be disciplined. But yeah, if you take a loss, then you can give your trade a second chance. But like 2 trades is what I would advise for the maximum. Yeah, man. Looks like GJ may continue down to 137, 630 over here. 1 hour's coming down. May even get that 4-hour wick fill. I need to learn more about money management. Yes. Yeah, I think you need to do a little bit of work over the weekend. Just looking at how you could have reduced your risk, how you could have maybe not taken those losses. But, I mean, if you're still a beginner, you should be trading small lots. You should be trading smaller lot sizes. Do you think taking multiple small trades or one big trade, which is better? That's up to you. I think I know what you mean in terms of like if I wanted to put a 1 lot down, I could spread it into like 5.2 20-cent lots. But yeah, that's up to you. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's just easier just to click one button and then take the entry that way. But yeah, like I say, that's up to you. It's completely up to you. Yeah, that's up to you. I used to do that. I used to take a few positions in one trade, but I just found it easier in the end just to put one position down. So GJ is coming down. So yeah, looks like GJ's just dropping right now. 1 15-minute candle. GJ is dropping. Yeah, those buys were. Yeah, that's just the probability aspect, because this candle had no reason to just drop like this, you know. Because when we hit resistance over here, we should have done that straight away. Yeah, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. But anyway, we're gonna call it a stream here soon. There's no news or anything. So yeah. Ooh, looks like EJ continued moving bearish. Gold's still ranging. Gold is still ranging, but the 30-minute candle looks like it's trying to come down to break below this support. If it does, there's a higher chance for the next 30-minute candle to also continue down. Yeah, have a good weekend, folks. We'll see you on Monday. Even GCA's dropping right over here right now. EJ. Yeah, GJ is just dropping right now. So I think it was a little bit of a probabilities aspect, because that drop's just come out of nowhere. There was no confirmation for this. Yeah, it's one of those. So yeah, we're coming up to the end of the stream now, guys. Oh, mate, I'm addicted to trading. Ooh. He's addicted to trading. Well, I mean, yeah. I think if... I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. Just don't overdose. If you're addicted, just make sure you don't overdose. Don't overtrade. And then you can enjoy your addiction. But there you go. So yeah, let's just do a little recap here of what's kind of going on. So gold in the next 10 seconds is trying to break below support. If it does so, there's a higher probability, that gold should continue moving down to 1863. Gold should continue down to 1863. If we look at US 30 continued bullish. Did continue bullish to this area up over here. So it looks like this candle create like a bottom wick to break the high and then continue up. GJ obviously we see just melted for no reason, but I'm calling it a week at this point with GJ. I need a break from it. Come back Monday, new week, and we'll go strong. Last week of this November. GCAD. Not really respecting any levels here. Came up to this area, created some resistance. Even if you took a sell, broke the highs, would have stopped you out and then continued, as GCAD does. Euro JPY. Euro JPY should continue moving down, although price has made a low right now, so it can retrace to form some resistance to also continue down, but it does have clean candles to the left hand side, so it should keep going. FTSE broke out bullish. See, this is what I'm saying. How does that make sense with GJ, considering the FTSE pushed up quite a bit this morning? After around 9:30, it pushed up around 40 points, so that's quite a bit. It's kind of this time when GJ pushed up, but now we're seeing like a retracement. So yeah, I think the confirmations were there, just probabilities aspect. And plus this week has just been shit. You know, this week has just been shit. It's been doing things like this, just things it doesn't normally do during the London session. So hopefully next week we're gonna have a better week. But yeah, so anyway, guys on the Zoom, thanks very much for coming. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Take care. See ya.
Yep, see you, Kelsey. See you, Will. Thank you. Guys on the YouTube, thanks very much for coming. So just a couple reminders there. Magic Keys giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. That's going to be really important. Second thing is the mentorship reopens on the 1st of December. So yeah, just bear that in mind. There'll be a new website, all of that. So yeah, cool. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. I say have a great weekend, and we'll see you all Monday morning. Thanks, guys. See you later.